Moving villagers. Whether you've been playing the game for a while or you're relatively new at the game, it's always been kind of difficult to move them around. My name is Vegas Vic 1965. In this week's video, I'm going to show you some ways to move villagers, some you're familiar with, and some you may not have known about. So without further ado, let's find out. One of the common ways of moving a villager, and most people know this already, is by minecart, and which is fairly reliable. It does have its pitfalls if mobs happen to get in the way, and it's also difficult to get in early game. So if you're trying to move villagers around in the village, that's not exactly practical at first. You have to go out and search for all the rails, or make the rails if you're going to get an iron farm together, or if you can find yourself a mine shaft. Another method is, of course, by boat. And by boat, it's not always as easy as you think, getting those guys in the boat. There we go, we got one. And then getting them around, especially on land, can be kind of cumbersome, so you're constantly moving. But I gotta tell you, that as far as moving them around on water from one village to the next, is a very reliable way. To get them around is very, very easy, especially by boat, especially if you're going over long distances. However, trying to get them up a hill, that's not going to happen. There's a method if you got them stuck in a corner and you can't get them out of there, you're trying to move them, you can always use a water bucket. Of course, that doesn't always work either, but that will move them out of the way. Before I go any further, you'll notice this guy here is wearing a green coat. Most of you that are watching this should know that that is a Nitwit, and he will not, of course, be moved by some of the methods that I'm going to show you here in a moment. So your best bet, if you do want to move a Nitwit for one reason or another, like for breeding, for a breeder, which I don't use breeders anymore, but if you wanted to move him, you're definitely going to want to make sure to use one of the other methods. But you can also use one of the methods I'm going to show you here in a minute. Here we have an unemployed villager, and I want to move him back into the village and give him a hut. Now, early game, it's probably pretty difficult to get together all the materials that you would need. Now, not for a boat, no problem, but getting up this hill, that's not going to happen. And if you don't have the rails and minecart and all the irons you need to move him, then you could probably use something like a workstation. And one of the easiest ones to make would be the barrel. Now, he'll follow that barrel around. Now, we haven't locked him in on a trade, so you can still make him whatever villager you want. Break the barrel, we'll move it over here someplace. He'll pick up on it. Let's move it down over here. He should pick up on it again, just like that. And you can continue to move him to, for example, right in here if we wanted to. And there he goes. And at that point, you can put some dirt or whatever to block him in, and you're all set, and just change out that barrel for whatever workstation that you want. Now here we have a villager that is a cartographer, and if you've already traded with one in your own village, make sure you use the same workstation for that villager's profession. In this case, we know he's going to go back to unemployed, but we want to move him from here to one of these huts over here. How we do that, we're going to do it during the hours of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 2,000 ticks to 9,000 ticks. It'll work best during those times. So if we break that workstation, like I said, it'll probably go back to unemployed. We'll drop it over here. He picks up on that one. We'll break it again. We'll put it over here. Nice and easy. No minecart, no boat needed. Open the door. I'm going to drop it in here and see if he picks up on it in here. And now we have him blocked into that building, and you're ready to move your next villager. Again, during the times I mentioned, and make sure you use the workstation for the profession that you have of that villager. If he's unemployed already, no big deal. Use whatever workstation that you like. Well, the last method I have for you about moving villagers is going to be by using beds, and it's going to obviously happen at nighttime. That's 12,000 ticks or 6 p.m. Your villagers will then grab their beds wherever they may be, and looks like we're short one bed. Let's give our fisherman villager a bed. And so, like I said, 12,000 ticks or 6 p.m. Once they're in their beds, they will stay there. So you can actually move them around by removing their bed and placing one in a different location. So let's go over here where our cartographer was working. We'll put a bed in there. We'll find our cartographer. Here he is, one of these two guys here. We'll break that bed. He'll pick up on it nice and easy. Now in this village, I removed all other beds except the ones you see here. So you may want to do the same thing, because if you're in a village and you've got other beds, they may not pick up on the bed that you set down for them. They may pick up on another bed maybe over there. So be real wary of that. And also be careful with any monsters as well. But it's super, super easy to move these guys around at nighttime. So we'll move you, buddy. He'll pick up on a different bed and put them anywhere you want. Nice and easy. Well, that's about going to wrap it up for this week's video on moving villagers. If you found this video helpful in your Minecraft worlds, don't forget to smash that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button while you're at it as well. Subscribing to me costs you absolutely nothing, but helps you find me a lot easier and lets me know I provide great quality content for you guys each and every week. So until next week's video, we'll see you then, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.